From inside the gym at Leominster High School, we say a very good evening, everyone, and welcome to RFM Basketball here on Rivalry Family Media on Facebook Live. Great to have you along with us for this one tonight. Yeah, a couple days delayed. This one originally scheduled for Tuesday night. Circumstances adjusted the date of this one, and we've got girls basketball for you tonight on a Thursday as the Algonquin basketball squad comes here inside the gym at Leominster High School with a 3-1 overall record to battle Leominster with their 1-4 overall mark here on a cold Thursday evening. We welcome you to our courtside broadcast position. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, great to have you with us here on this Thursday night. You know, if you've been with us right along, Leominster has certainly struggled throughout this part of the year on the girls' side of things. Things, though, have grown and developed. If you go through the couple of broadcasts we've featured them on here, you compare the Wachusett game before the holiday to where they were against the St. Paul team just a week or so back. It's a much better, much more disciplined basketball team, able to maintain and move the basketball. They're going to need it tonight against a high-quality Algonquin team. Bill Thomas, we were talking about it a little bit before we went on the air. This is an Algonquin team that not only knows how to play the game of basketball, they play it very, very well. They've earned this 3-1 overall record.
Oh, without a doubt, Todd. And just watching them during warm-ups, they look very well coached, very well disciplined during warm-ups, going through their routines, very crisp. And I think it bears out their 3-1 record. Their only loss was to a very strong Notre Dame Academy, who's currently, I believe, 4-2 or 5-2. So that's the only blemish on their record. I expect them to come in with guns blazing, coming off a big win against Marlboro last Thursday.
And, of course, common opponent between these two schools, it was St. Paul for Algonquin. It was a 52-43 win back on December 17th early on in the season for Leominster. That 48-41 loss to St. Paul just about a week back. And, Kate, you've been in these situations before. You've got a tough uphill climb in front of you against a really good quality opponent. What do you do if you're the scrappy Leominster team tonight?
What Leominster showed against St. Paul was that they had the ability to play up to their competition. They're going to need to do the same thing tonight in order to keep up with this Algonquin team as well. You got to play up to your competition 4 quarters in a row. They need to play solid basketball if they're going to have a chance. And right now, both of these teams still in survival mode in the midst of this COVID surge that we have going on in post-holiday time frame. So it's about survival. It's about maintaining your discipline, especially with regard to your fundamentals. And for Leominster, it's about playing up to your competition tonight.
And that will be the demand. It's Leominster and Algonquin comes your way here on RFM next. Introductions, national anthem, and tip-off, all right here as we proceed. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry. Great to have you with us on a Thursday night. It's Leominster Algonquin coming your way next here on RFM.
Good evening, fans, and welcome back to basketball, and welcome to the gym at Leominster High School for tonight's basketball matchup featuring the Algonquin basketball team and your Leominster Blue Devils. As a reminder, fans, masks are mandatory at all indoor events per the statewide mandate of the DPSC, MIAA, and the local administration. Fans are asked to wear their masks over their nose and under their chins at all times. Thank you for your cooperation. Tonight's event is sanctioned by the MIAA and Midland Wachusett League. Fans are reminded to positively support student athletes, coaches, and officials. Be loud, be proud, be positive. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Algonquin team. A senior, number 3, Jada Carter. A senior, number 5, Nicole DeJesus. A sophomore, number 12, Sophia Ricky. A senior, number 22, Anna Grace Ricky. A senior, number 23, Danielle Adams. Algonquin is coached by Melissa Faustino, assisted by Peter Surrey, Christy Morcone, and Chuck Ward. And now let's meet your Leominster High School Blue Devils. Guard, a freshman, number 2, Jada Carter. At guard, a sophomore, number 10, Nicole Kelly. At guard, a freshman, number 25, Mia Keenan. At forward, a freshman, number 30, Francesca Frankie Bello. And at the other forward, a sophomore, number 44, Juliana Pompey. Leominster is coached by Rusty Frederick in his fourth season, assisted by Megan McNiff and Chris Pompey. Fans, we ask now that you please rise and remove your caps as together we honor America and those who defend our freedom with the playing of our national anthem.
And with that, we're ready for basketball here on a Thursday night here on RFM. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for the live stream. Pass it out to your friends and family. And great to have those of you joining us who couldn't be here inside the gym at Leominster High School on this Thursday night. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us courtside here inside the gym tonight. And Bill Thomas, you mentioned it during the warm-ups when you took a look at the two teams. You could see it a little bit on paper, but you can also see it a little bit in person. This Algonquin team, they look like a serious group of basketball players. They've got the build for it. They've got the movement of the basketball. You could recognize it in warm-ups. For Leominster, as Kate mentioned before we got to the introductions, it is all about playing up to your competition. You got to rise to the occasion tonight.
It is, and we've seen Leominster have trouble putting the ball through the hoop, but their defense has improved from the first two games. They gave up 59 and over 70. They've kept their opponents, even in losses, to under 50. That's a start. Just got to play a little better offense, and I hope to see some of that tonight.
And it will be a demanding opposition tonight in taking on this Algonquin team. Couple of changes to Leominster's starting lineup. Nicole Kelly has played her way into the lineup. Mia Keenan, the freshman, has played her way into the starting lineup as well. The opening tap rolls to Coach Rusty Frederick in the front row. They say Leominster had the last touch, and so it becomes Algonquin basketball. Leominster will have possession on the alternate. First quarter, Algonquin goes right to left, Leominster left to right. Algonquin wearing the road maroon tops, maroon bottoms, trimmed in gold. Algonquin across the chest, black numerals front and back. Turnaround shot in the lane goes for Anna Grace Yerpe, and it's 2-0 quickly Algonquin. Leominster goes from left to right, wearing the home white tops, white bottoms. The running devil on the L, the trim in royal blue. Blue Devils framing in the Leominster script, front and back on the old jerseys. Initial shot missed by Bello, and it's 2-0 Algonquin. 30 seconds gone by here in this one. Yerpe for a Jeezy. Swing it to the other Yerpe. Now dropping inside, it's Adams. Caught in a triple team. There's a tie-up. Held ball on the alternate possession. Leominster gets the basketball. Early on, Bill Thomas, it's not showing on the scoreboard, but Leominster is end-to-end with this Algonquin team through two possessions.
Yeah, and once again, Todd, like I mentioned, it's really going to be about the defensive end tonight. Leominster's got to stay home on defense and not allow easy baskets. We'll see where that leads.
Keenan floats one from the left wing and finds the bottom of the net. And Leominster's tied at 2, 1 minute into this one. Kelly challenges the basketball, makes contact, giving chase was Caldwell, not able to run it down, and into the front row it goes. Officials adjusting the position out on the floor. Yerpe will have the inbound near sideline. Three-quarter court, and here we go. Just step on the gas. Tries to drop it out to the left wing, looking for Sophia Yerpe, and it ends up a tie-up on the alternate possession. The basketball stays with Algonquin. Kate, early on in this one, up and down the floor they go, and Algonquin right now, certainly they are clearly the better basketball team, but right now, Leominster hanging right there with them.
One of the things that you're seeing is Algonquin right now really working hard to maintain their poise with the pressure that Leominster has been putting on them. So Leominster right now doing a nice job being scrappy and getting in Algonquin's face, and you can see those Algonquin girls really working hard to keep their fundamentals and not lose their cool, make sure they maintain their composure.
Tip and strip, Leominster got it into the front court. Now they exchange turnovers, and back down the floor comes Carter Frem. Inside for Yerpe, turnaround shot, got the glass, no good. Continue battle for the basketball, Yerpe hung with it, missed everything, and the rebound down for Bello.
Nice job right there, way to stay with it. Another Leominster problem has been offensive rebounds, and they got to limit those tonight. You know, you can get out height, Todd and Kate, but you can't get out position. You fight for your position, and it does a lot for you.
Throwaway there. Two opportunities for Yerpe. If at first you don't succeed, just keep firing away, and Yerpe's able to finish that one.
Is that in a Grace?
Indeed it was.
Okay.
I know we got two of them.
Bello right down, working with her back to the basket. The shot was deflected, and now the rebound goes in the other direction. Shot for a Jeezy, open three, and buries it.
That was a quick 5 points right there, 2 trips down the court.
7-2, Algonquin's lead, just under the 5.5-minute mark. Foul called for the contact, official trying to find the number. Jeezy gets billed for the foul, her first.
Team first to the first half.
Side stack, Caldwell for the inbound. She finds Kelly. Back and forth they go. Kelly bounced it in the lane. Driving is Pompey. She gets bodied off the shot. Could not get it to fall, but she's got 2 shots coming at the rim.
Nice cut down the lane. No, you know, we talked about Leominster kind of getting in this pattern of standing around outside the 3-point line. It's nice to see him cut in the lane. You know, and if at first you don't get that pass, doesn't mean you're not going to swing around and try that again. Try to lose that defender, and I'm seeing some of that tonight from Leominster.
That foul billed to Adams. It's her first, team second.
Pompey gets the first. Gets the second as well. Brings Leominster within 3. 5.25 left here in the first quarter.
Forgot to inbound it. They were just going to dribble it up like playground.
Not able to do that. Check. You just bouncing the basketball back, right?
Yeah, just take it out of the net and start dribbling up court. I love it.
Deflection out of play. Leominster pressing the basketball here and looking to create those opportunities. Keenan will defend the inbound, giving up about 3 feet. Gets bounced to the inside for Carter Frem. Frem able to work her way past the screen. Kelly slowed up just enough. Now from the left wing, it's a Jeezy. Inside for Anna Grace Yerpe. Basket's good, and a foul.
Good use of the lane right there, cutting from the weak side. A nice pass up top where nobody else can get it, but the girl cutting, and a nice finish. See if she can complete the and one.
Substitutions into the game.
Yeah, get them in now because there's only 1 foul shot.
That's right.
Keenan picks up her first, team first for the Blue Devils.
You're not replacing the shooter.
I think initially there was no reaction at the table.
Everybody's waiting
The official was
around.
like, okay, forget it. Not able to get that one to go, but there's a rebound for Sophia Yerpe, and that one deflected off a leg inside. It's going to stay with Algonquin. Chance for a 2-for-1 opportunity on this trip.
Jeezy right now with a team high 6 points in the first quarter for Algonquin.
If you're a first-timer joining us here on...
Pardon me, Anna Grace Yerpe.
Thank you.
That's my bad.
If you are a first-timer joining us here on RFM, remember you can join us on that second screen experience. The jumper from the left goes first into the basketball game. Amy Sullivan, the senior, and got herself on the board. You can join us on that second screen experience. Send us a message. We'll get them in sprinkled throughout the broadcast. Cheer on your favorite Blue Devil or Tomahawk as Kelly lines up a 3 and makes it go.
Nice job right there. Don't let the defense get set.
Floater over the top, overshoots Yerpe, and out of play it goes, and the ball back to Leominster. Bill Thomas, the pressure defense seems to be disrupting Algonquin just enough as they work their way into their half-court offense.
And I think if it can get a little bit of panic in them as they start to use up some shot clock, every little bit helps.
It's called the chaos theory.
Yeah, cross-court pass hits the official, stays alive. Algonquin in transition. Carter Frem not able to finish. Loose ball pulled down. Sullivan keeps it alive. Feeds Yerpe. Yerpe with the bounce. Catch and replace Sullivan. Sets up a Carter Frem 3. That one won't go. Carter Frem runs down the rebound. Inside for Yerpe. Turnaround shot. In and out. Too strong. Gets it right back. Third opportunity doesn't go. And Kelly's got the rebound for Leominster. Steps on the gas in transition. Does not have the numbers. She'll slow up in the left wing.
Coach Frederick right now not happy with a no call on travel.
And Keenan will line up a 3 and hit it from the left corner.
Back-to-back threes. Cuts into that lead.
11-10, the lead for Algonquin narrowed to 1. 3.5-minute mark here of the first quarter.
Ooh, the errant pass right there, turnover.
The ball back to Leominster and a chance to take the lead on this possession.
Seeing a little bit of panic here. I'm surprised Algonquin hasn't called a timeout, settle them down a little bit, but still got 3:33 left in the first quarter here.
Coach Faustino has decided to press the action here, see if her players can work themselves out of trouble. Sabina Marwa checks in, the sophomore, on first action tonight. Kelly changes places with Caldwell. Now the cross-court skip. Finds Kelly, tries the hard bounce into the lane, looking for Bello. Kelly's got to go to the floor against 2 Algonquin players. The tie-up and the alternate possession belongs to Algonquin.
Coach Frederick, pretty intense over there on the bench. I think he's happy to be back.
I dare say he's happy to be out of his living room.
That's right.
Not that he doesn't enjoy watching us, but he'd rather watch his postgame. Cross-court skip is picked by Bello.
Direct result of the press right there. Nice job.
Marwa sets up a Pompey 3. Short of the mark. Caldwell tries to swing it back
Nice
in
effort.
play and not quite able to get it over the end line.
Now, Todd and Billy, with this press coming so early and for such a significant amount of time here from the Blue Devils defense, what does that say about the legs that they're going to need in order to get through 4 quarters of basketball?
Well, we'll
tonight?
be seeing what the bench has got for them in the second half for sure, Kate.
And I dare say, Kate, I think that's the one thing we've seen throughout the year. They may give up size, they may give up skill, but they have no intention of giving up on the cardio required. Coach Rusty Frederick gets into it with the official, and I think he's got himself a warning right out of the gate here as he was a little overly enthusiastic. It's a 3 in the key call, by the way, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
So what's been going on is from the start, we've had some no calls, especially in the paint. There was a potential traveling call that Coach Frederick wanted earlier on this end of the court, and since that, he has not stopped chirping. So right now, his intensity is up there. One of the things, wanting
he saved
to keep
up a couple of games worth of chirping,
he did.
too.
But I mean, one of the things is he's going to need that type of intensity out of his players for this entire game, and so it may be just kind of a distributive property at this point.
Absolutely. Into the corner, it's Kelly off the first missed opportunity.
Got to ride this wave, though.
That's right.
It's only the first quarter.
The official's pushing him back into the coaching box as it gets deflected to the near side. This is Kelly who gets blocked as she tries to drive the lane on the right. Adams will get billed for the hip check.
He gets that allowed Rusty to turn back and catch his breath for a second there, but if he didn't get that call, we might have seen some fireworks.
Adams picks up her second, team third for Algonquin in the first half.
11-10, Algonquin's lead, 2:18 to play here in quarter one. Fouls 3-1 here in the early going. Inside find, it's Bello. Bello in a double team, kicks out Marwa, open, deflection doesn't fall, tip to the baseline. Last touched by Leominster, they say, and the ball will go back to Algonquin. They always say familiarity breeds contempt, Kate. We've been here for, I believe, 3 girls basketball games at this point. 2 out of those 3 games by the same official. Never a good sign. Never a good
Especially
sign.
this early in the
I was
year.
going to say, we're very early in the season.
But we do have an official we haven't seen at all, so it's good to see him mix it up the team a little bit.
I want to say this might be her first varsity action, Bill Thomas, that I've seen here inside the gym at
Good to
Leominster
see
High
him
School.
mix them up, but they're promoting some JV
she was
officials.
fairly demonstrative over at the table. She wanted the starters, and neither team was ready to give them to her. She was not happy.
Good for her.
She got some command of the floor, which I like to see.
Yep.
And they talk about it all the time. We see it promoted on social media all the time. There is a sore need for officials in all sports in any direction.
You know what I like to see, though? Female official. Officiating a female sport.
I agree.
Like that.
Yes, absolutely, I agree. But
So-
any sport in this day and age, it's
Very true.
But yeah, I'd like to see just more female officials get involved in all sports.
Token pressure, and Leominster avoided the giveaway. Has to fling it into the front
Oh,
court to
double.
beat the 10 seconds, and yep, a double dribble by Bellows. Got both hands on the basketball.
Tried to catch it and dropped it in a dribble and then picked it up, then dribbled it again.
1:45 left here in the first. Algonquin with the basketball and a meager 1-point lead. This is Carter Frem along the timeline, works her way left wing. Dropped inside, finds Olkers, and then deflected away, and Leominster's got another turnover.
Good hands defense right there. Keep moving.
Caldwell fires near corner. This is Isabella Nevard seeing her first action tonight. Drives the lane, gets the block call. Shot hit the underside of the basket, but she's got 2 shots coming from the line.
I saw Isabel sitting on the bench over there in the back row, and she looked like she was chomping at the bit to get in the game. It's good to see her show some energy right out.
Cullen picks up her first team 4th for Algonquin.
Nevard's first, too strong. Go ahead, Kate.
Last few games that we've seen from Nevard here, the vast majority, if not all of her points, coming from the line.
Yeah,
so
good
this is a
point,
very
Kate.
important
I saw
spot
that. She
for
only
Nevard.
had 4 points in the last game, and all were free throws.
Yep.
And that
But
one will
she is
go.
very active on the floor. She just hasn't been able to find the basket.
1 of 2 on the trip, but we're knotted at 11 at the 1:15 mark here in the first quarter. And we've got a foul called away from the ball against the offense, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
Quiet Rusty down a little bit.
Indeed.
Olgers picks up her first team 5th for Algonquin.
An official kind of showed it, and then Coach Frederick was also kind of giving the demonstration. That kind of scoop and discard there.
The
They
swim
don't
move?
want to allow that. When you body up on the defender, you can't grab them and then move them in order to create space for yourself. That's an important point.
I disagree.
Cross court.
I like space.
Find Nevard.
Give
You
me
can
my
have all the
space.
space you want, Kate. You just have to run to open
Sometimes
space.
you have to make your space.
Pompey
Oh.
banks the foul shot in. It goes.
Nice one. Call backboard.
Pompey right now with 4 points for the Blue Devils.
Leominster +2, first lead of the night for the blue and white. Trapped in the corner at GZ. Finds Yerpy. Yerpy's exchange top of the key. This is Sophia, the jumper, too hard in and out. Bellow the rebound.
Nice job right there, protecting that rebound too.
About a 10-second differential, shot clock to game clock as Nevard splits 2, misses. Bellow follows on and cleans up the glass.
Nice offensive rebound, but that's who we be aggressive, Isabel. Stay with that.
Leominster up 4. Final 17 seconds, shot clock off. Carter Frem drives the lane, not able to finish. In transition now, this is Pompey. Into the corner, finds Caldwell. Long 2, misses the mark. And the rebound down for Carter Frem. Final seconds here. She'll throw it up. Banked and will not go. There was no signal, so that appeared that would have been good if it went. Through 1 quarter, here courtside at the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster enjoys a 15-11 lead through 1 quarter. And Bill Thomas, all of a sudden, Leominster, who gave up an early run and saw Algonquin run out to that quick 7-2 lead, all of a sudden in transition here in the back half of that first quarter, finds themselves up 15-11.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice, do some math, 13-4 run there to close out the first quarter. But it's all about the energy, really. You're seeing some good hands-up defense. They're playing a nice tight man-to-man or girl-to-girl, however you want to talk
Sure.
it. Individual on individual.
Player on player, Bill Thomas.
Player on player, but we're seeing some energy that we haven't seen out of the team, in past games, and maybe the week off has done them good. Having Rusty back might have injected a little extra energy into this game tonight. And I tell you, I wonder if he's wearing a Fitbit, because I like to know how many steps he's going to end up with, because he's walking from midcourt to the door almost on every possession. So he's fun to watch over there on top of the way the team's performing.
And I think Kate made the great point, is that he knows his team needs to up their intensity, and so he's going to coach in the
Energy
way he
from the
needs his
bench
team
will,
to react.
Transmit onto the court.
Dr. Steve Dubzinski strolls on by with his thoughts as well.
Always got a kind word.
Whatever Coach Frederick has had, they want to bottle it. That's all that everyone knows at this point, especially if you're in education. You could use a little shot of whatever Coach Frederick has brought for the enthusiasm here. Good to see during the time out there, see the official and Coach Frederick kind of, sorting things out, burying the hatchet.
Is that what
if
you call
will.
it, Todd?
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. It's
we'll
good
go with that.
officiating, good coaching on both sides.
We'll go with that.
Clean up. It was
You
something.
don't think there was a warning involved there?
No. They sorted
Very
out their
cordial.
disagreements, and away they went. Kate through one quarter as we begin the second 8 minutes. What did you see on your stat sheet?
Stat sheet right now, Blue Devils starting 5, doing a nice job getting points on the board and distributing it through 5 different players right now. They're going to need to keep that up along with the intensity and the full court press. They got to keep Algonquin off of their game, on their toes.
Nivard off the pass from Cudahy, newly into the game. Not able to finish at the rim. Leominster initially gets the rebound, then the ball pops loose. Now Cudahy's on the score sheet, but this is for a reach-in foul as Carter Frem dribbled the loose ball away.
Nice aggressiveness by Isabel. I wish one of those would go down. I know it would change her mindset, but it's glad that she's continuing to be aggressive around the basket.
Cudahy picks up her first team third for the Blue Devils. Sorry, Todd.
No problem. Yerpe will kick it for Carter Frem. Back the shot goes from Sullivan, missed everything. Ball dribbled out of trouble, in this case by Caldwell.
Very aggressive, too.
Yeah, aggressive. And one of the things that's been interesting, Leominster giving up a lot of height here, but doing a nice job keeping up with the rebounding action.
Cudahy's shot misses everything, the battle to the floor, and then there's a push after the whistle, and I believe they got Cudahy again. Quickly 2 fouls. She's been in the game all of, not even, a full minute at this point.
And I don't believe she'll be in the game much longer. Next whistle, I see somebody over at the table.
Yeah, Keenan is at the table, likely to come in to replace Cudahy. He will have to, as Cudahy picks up in less than a minute of action.
Oh,
she picks herself up 2 fouls.
She doesn't get her third here before they can get her on the bench and save her.
The kick from Carter Frem into the corner at Jeezy's 3 doesn't go. Yerpe rebound. Nice bounce pass inside, and the finish at the rim for Sullivan.
Good luck. Got all the Leominster girls chasing that rebound. Nice bounce pass back inside.
Really pretty look. Sometimes as an offensive player, you don't want to bring that ball down to hip level, but a nice job to grab it and keep it at hip level all the way on the inside.
Nice look there.
Yeah, Caldwell's 3 does not go. The rebound went inside for Sophia Yerpe, who steps on the gas, had no friends, slows on the brakes, kicks it back for Anna Grace Yerpe's 3 is short, and the rebound is for Marwa. Bounces it up floor, Caldwell, runner, too strong off glass. Marwa, the rebound among the trees. Loose ball got dribbled away from her, and Carter Frem's got it in transition. Yerpe dribbled the ball off herself, loose ball to the floor. Everybody's tied up on this
4,
one.
5, 6 girls on the floor there.
Great hustle play all around. The alternate possession will favor Algonquin. As expected, Cudahy checks out at that stoppage of play. So does Marwa. Returning to the game, Keenan and Kelly. 6:02 to play here in the second quarter. Leominster's lead is 15-13. The inbound for Yerpe. Shot will not go, too strong back rim. Pompey's got herself the rebound. Pompey finds Caldwell. Little head fake, and then, I was going to say, that pivot foot was hanging on the floor. Pompey runs into a defender and gets called for the walk. And the ball back to Algonquin. Coach Frederick hopping and not so enthusiastic with the call, but I think it's a good one, as it appeared to me that Pompey was out of control going into that
I think
defender.
they just got tangled up there.
She's lucky she didn't come up with an offensive foul.
I thought it might be an offensive foul.
Yeah, she was out of control. Come to the near side. This is Sophia Yerpe. Brings rain with the 3, doesn't go. The deflection ends up in her own hands for a reload. Kick back, Anna Grace Yerpe. Long 2 and hits. We're knotted at 15, and that forces a timeout. Head coach Rusty Frederick wants to speak to the officiating staff, and he's beckoning him on over. 5:25 to play here in the second quarter. We're knotted at 15, and I expect the official will tell Coach Frederick exactly what I did, which is Pompey is out of control.
But right now, with regard to what's going on, Coach Frederick is going to be in a position where he's not going to be giving that much more rope, and it's very early on in this game. The intensity is good. He wants the same level of intensity out of his girls, but right now you have 2 and 3/4 quarters remaining in this game, and right now he's already been spoken to multiple times. He's got to get through the whole game.
How is his cardio going at this point in time? That's the
heart
question.
rate's up. We know that. The heart rate's up.
And unfortunately, Todd and Kate, I know he wants to get his piece with the official, but there's really a timeout going on over there. I'd really like to see him in the huddle.
He's there now.
Rather than drawing
He's
with
there.
the official, but he's got to get his piece. I understand that.
Coach Pompey found himself in the middle of a huddle, able to kind of pick up the pieces. He filled in as head coach when Coach Frederick himself was under COVID protocols. We're right back with you, by the way, if you were wondering. Next time you'll see us. I was going to say, maybe we should have just taken it live on the air. As Coach Adrian Machado was reaching out, we'll get to him later on tonight as we're right back at this one. The rescheduled Leominster-Shrewsbury boys basketball game, as it is reschedule week here on RFM, comes your way tomorrow night, January the 14th. That's a Friday. 6:45, we're on the air here on RFM. 6:35 on our radio home over on the K-Zone AM 1280, 105.3 FM and WPKZ stream. And that game will tip at 7 for Leominster and Shrewsbury boys. Shot was initially missed. Algonquin got a second opportunity, and Candela picked up the pivot foot call for the walk, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
Good break right there after that unfortunate turnover. Almost led to an easy basket to start this.
And I want to come back to the spark that Coach Frederick is trying to find here in a moment as the ball gets moved into the front court for Kelly and is picked off.
Way out of bounds.
And then, yes, indeed, she was on the bench
She
side
was
of
on the line,
things.
yeah.
Way out of bounds.
Was she actually in the game?
She
looked like
was.
she was on the bench.
I believe she was, and Leominster will have the inbound. It's Keenan for Bello into a triple team. Has to sling it back for Pompey, get it right back, and then she threw the head fake and picked up the pivot foot. Ball back to Algonquin. The teams exchange turnovers.
On Leominster's side, especially on the offensive end, things have seemed very bunched. A lot of bunching going on. Not a lot of spread. And right now the traffic just seems like there's a lot of congestion. Right there, two players getting tied up.
Yeah.
That foul is going to be on Leominster.
It was charged to Kelly. She over-pursued that basketball a little bit and reached across the player. First foul on Kelly in this one. Fouls at 5 all here in the second quarter.
Nice job by Levi right there, putting up a wall.
Into the front court. This is Candela.
My favorite thing about what just happened, Bill Thomas, Todd was not even able to watch that play. He was looking at me, and somehow you knew.
Tie up on the inside.
I know you weren't watching it. You were
Alternate
talking
possession.
to me.
The ball goes back to Leominster.
He saw the screen out of the corner of his
How
eye.
did you see it?
He's watching
It does,
TV.
does have its benefits.
How did you know?
4:38
Because I was like,
to
oh my
play in the
goodness, I'm
second
going to have
quarter.
to describe this, and because you weren't looking, and then you described it.
Peripheral vision. Ball to the floor. It is loose. The tie-up at the foul line extended, and seemingly once again that arrow faces Algonquin. Officials, directing traffic. Yeah, no, they were pointing for the spot. The dead ball spot's going to be just basket to the right as we look at the floor. 4.5 to play here in the second quarter. Teams knotted at 15. We've been stuck here on both sides for a little while here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Here's the drive to the foul line. Yerpe drops it back off.
Algonquin real crisp with the passing, though, trying to work it in and out.
Candela comes cross-court skip, puts it in the hands of Cullen. Bounce to Sophia Yerpe. Swing it corner. Jumper for Sullivan in the right wing. Doesn't go. Follows her own shot. Comes up with the rebound on the baseline. Back out to Sophia Yerpe. Drive, shot too strong, off glass. That was Anna Grace Yerpe's shot that does not go. To the floor they go. Yerpe comes out with the basketball, caught between seemingly 100 Blue Devils, and it is a 3 in the key call as she was there just a little too long in possession of the basketball. It will go back to Leominster.
Way too many offensive rebounds there, though, for Algonquin. Lady Blue Devils got to box out a little better, get their hands on that rebound.
Now, people often notice the 3 in the key call when, of course, a player has just kind of built a tent there and doesn't possess the basketball, but the same does apply if you get stuck there with possession and can't get out. You can't just set up a tent on the inside with or without the basketball.
Nice job breaking that press from the outside to the middle.
Kelly finds Keenan, bounces it for Bello. 3.5 to play here in the second quarter, still tied at 15. A giveaway there for Leominster. It's Carter Frem. Tip from behind by Kelly, but right to Yerpy on the spot. Right back to Carter Frem. Jumper for two, left rim, no go. Leominster will let it roll out of play, and the ball will go back to Leominster. 3:19 to play in the second, Kate.
And Billy and Todd, a rare time there where Carter Frem and the Algonquin basketball team on the girls' side don't show patience. We've seen in the offensive zone an immense amount of patience waiting for their looks to essentially materialize.
Sure.
So not a lot of patience there on that last offensive possession. Carter Frem thought she had the look, went for the shot, but wasn't all that close.
Got to imagine Algonquin is getting to a point here as well. They have scored 56 and 52 points in a win and 52 points in a loss, and then 51 points against Marlborough the other night in a 51-29 win. Right now, if they were to double up their score right now, they get to 30 by the end of this one.
And here's a stat for you both. Leominster right now, no points in the second quarter. Algonquin with 4.
Shot does not go, and the rebound down for Bello.
It's only 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Though.
Correct. Leominster in that 15-11 mark was the end of first quarter score.
Yep.
That's right. Good point.
Hey, thanks. That's why I'm here.
Ball rolls out of play. It will go back to Algonquin. 2:37 to play here in the second quarter.
Not for the lack of action, Todd and Kate. A lot of up and down, just no scoring. But I like the way the Lady Blue Devils are playing defense, and we touched on that to open the game, that they needed to play defense.
And this is one of those things, though, that we saw this. Leominster went almost scoreless in their last game in a quarter of play as well. It helps to reduce the game, keep everybody close together, keep everybody bunched up. But at some point, offensive production does become a thing.
Well,
the goal is still to score one more point than the other team.
But in the past, we've seen Leominster stop panicking as time winds down in these situations, and they got to stay in control. Let Rusty do the panicking on the bench and channel that energy so the girls can compete.
Well, he's taking up that mantle tonight.
Absolutely.
Pass is picked by Adams. Up floor finds Carter from Kelly, picks it right back as the teams exchange turnovers once again.
She's been fun to watch these last few weeks.
Indeed, she has played her way right into the starting lineup.
You took the words right out of my mouth, and then she scores.
Long two, finishes that. Started it with the steal on the defensive end, ends up down floor and gets the finish.
First points for Leominster in the second quarter coming from Kelly with 2 minutes remaining in the quarter.
17-15, and there's a whistle and no basket. There's a timeout called. Coach Melissa Faustino frustrated over on her bench as she could not hear, I don't believe, or they could not be heard down this end of the floor. But the timeout is signaled. Algonquin takes their first at the 1:52 mark of the second quarter, and Leominster with a 17-15 lead in what has clearly been a low-scoring first half of action. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier about Coach Frederick, the enthusiasm, trying to, of course, build that through, of course, his own actions to try to get his team to buy into that a little bit. And maybe some of that has been based on what he has seen through the performance, through the first handful of games. Team seems a little panicked, but also maybe a little flat enthusiasm-wise. They've got the cardio. They can make it up and down the floor. They have that built-in ability, but they haven't been able to finish at the rim. Defensively, they've been able to create opportunities. They're just not finishing.
Well, I think the key is defensively. They've been playing much better defensively. If you look at how, even in their losses, they've cut down the differential. They've created lower scoring games. But, you know, defense, you can play with aggressiveness, with kind of a reckless abandonment, with a certain amount of control mixed in. When it comes to offense, you got to get the ball to go through that 18-inch cylinder or whatever it is up there. So
through the old peach basket built up.
But defense can go a long way towards creating offensive opportunities, and I think that's what we're seeing on the Leominster side tonight.
Borrow a phrase that I love from the boxing world. When they score a boxing match, they're looking for not just aggressiveness, but effective aggressiveness. It's one thing to be aggressive. It's another to be effective when doing it. The long three does not go off the hands of a Jeezy, and the rebound is for Pompey. And in transition, here comes Leominster. It's Bello into the corner. Keenan fires up the three and finds the bottom of the basket.
Nice job right there. Nice in and out.
Team high 8 points for Keenan for the Blue Devils.
And Bello looking for that open player, finds her in the corner.
A freshman who's played her way into the lineup with her shooting ability. You got to go with the hot hand. That one tip created, finds its way to Kelly for the steal. Up floor, Keenan trying to lose a defender. Bounce comes to the near side. Kelly right back to Keenan. Had an open opportunity. Feeds Bello. Inside out to the foul line. Pompey's shot misses everything.
Nice job.
Kelly keeps it alive on the hustle play from the outside of the arc. Kate makes it to the end line and then just deflected it out of play.
Scrappy, and
Scrappy
she can ball.
For sure.
That girl can ball.
I tell you, I love that inside out play when they're getting Bello involved. I'd like to see it turn around and throw up a little jumper once in a while. don't always look to kick it out, but she's finding a way in the lane. She's getting position. Got to get a little turnaround bunny shot as part of her game because she's definitely got the ability to get in there and get position.
Final 55 seconds before halftime here tonight. The inside, Yerpy to Yerpy. Back, swings its way to the left side. Carter Frem, three, doesn't go. Pompey the rebound, and out of trouble it goes. She'll find her way over to Shannon Smith, seeing her first action tonight. Pompey for Caldwell up floor, missed everything. Boulay got the rebound. This one deflected inside through Smith, makes it back to Caldwell. 13 seconds on the possession for Leominster, 25 and a half left here in the second quarter. This is Bello, finds Smith. Jumper, short of the mark, Caldwell the rebound. Third opportunity on the possession. The shot clock is still going here, and then there's a signal for a stoppage of play, and they're going to call a shot clock violation.
Yeah, I'm not sure she
and the ball will
caught
go back
rim.
to Leominster.
I would agree. I thought exactly
and then
the same
they reset
thing.
the shot clock erroneously. I think it was a shot. I think they got that right.
I agree. I agree with you, Bill Thomas.
Good job by the officials up top to be able to see that. Shot clock now off, final 12 seconds, and that jumper will fall for Algonquin. 3-point lead for Leominster, up floor, it's Bello, 1 second, feeds Smith, good if it goes, on the rim, and it rattles out. Halftime here inside the gym at Leominster High School, and it's a dandy here tonight. Leominster with the 20-17 lead on top of Algonquin at the half. What a first half of action we've been treated to on both sides of the floor.
Initial impressions, defense leads to offense, and I think this game has been fed through the defensive end, creating offensive opportunities for Leominster, and that's how they've built this 2017 lead at half.
And so far, so good for the blue and white. 20-17, Leominster on top of Algonquin. Halftime coming up here inside the gym at Leominster High School. A break, and we're back with more. Halftime stats with Kate comes your way next. Stay with us here. This is RFM. Back inside the gym at Leominster High School. Halftime score, Leominster 20 and Algonquin 17. In an exciting first half of action for both teams as we welcome you back to our courtside broadcast position. Todd Robbins, Kate Robbins, Bill Thomas steps away for a moment here at the half, but a 20-17 first half score here, Kate. And, you know, it was a first half that Leominster allowed that early run, a 5-point lead early on. 7-2 was the lead in that early run in the first 9 points of the basketball game, but then the defensive plays, creating opportunities. It has thwarted and at times frozen Algonquin's offense, and then, of course, forced them to take bad shots or to try to press a little bit. Meanwhile, back down the other end of the floor, Leominster keeps creating opportunities for themselves, and they are finishing at a better-than-average rate tonight.
One of the things that we have seen over the last few years as this Leominster team has been rebuilding is that they've not been able to maintain any type of structure, especially on the offensive end. And so I don't necessarily think that Algonquin was number one expecting this Leominster team to come out this aggressive, first of all, but then to be able to maintain their game plan. We've seen that they've been a little bit more disciplined. They've been able to run their offense. And right now you're seeing that structure starting to work. And Algonquin, I think, was kind of taken aback, and they were kind of off their toes there. The other thing is you have to remember, it's been start, stop, herky-jerky. If you take a look at the schedule, Leominster hasn't had a game in essentially well over a week. And all of these teams take a little time. They take them in. Even the best teams that we've seen, like Wachusett Girls in Central Mass and this Algonquin team, a lot of them are taking almost a full quarter just to get their sea legs under them because they've either been practicing a ton or they've been practicing not at all.
Correct.
Because nothing has been sustainable throughout this year. And so it's one of those things where, as a coach, it becomes an incredibly anxiety-inducing situation because, number one, you don't necessarily know who you're going to be able to start every day. They may not have played together as starters every day. So it takes some time for people to get their legs under them. Leominster's offense has been taking advantage of that tonight. They've been playing up and now right now above their competition, and they've got Algonquin right now on their heels. And so right now Leominster's in the driver's seat. We need to see another half like we just saw out of Leominster. We've not seen 4 sustained quarters of quality basketball out of this Leominster basketball team, and they're going to need all 4 quarters if they are going to maintain this lead because you have a very well-coached, structured basketball team that is expecting to do well and has the talent to do well. And right now, you're playing up to the competition if you're Leominster, and you've got to keep doing it because you can bet there are going to be some adjustments coming out of the locker room from Algonquin for the second half.
You got to be comfortable, to your point, Kate, with the consistently inconsistent schedule that you've been dealing with. And I think at this point, I don't think any of us thought that coming into this winter season, we would see more scheduling difficulties in this second year of dealing with athletics and a COVID international pandemic. I don't think we thought this would have been a more difficult year. I think we thought we would still be dealing with some things, but not a more difficult year. That has certainly played into this one.
This was the type of scheduling that we saw in the ice hockey side of things last year, and now you're seeing it on the basketball side.
A bit herky-jerky. I didn't want to cut you off, but I want to get to your halftime stats.
All right now for the Algonquin basketball team totals. First right now, a 3-point deficit for Algonquin, 14 rebounds, 1 steal, 12 turnovers. Individual notable statistics, the GZ with 3. The Yerpe sisters, Anna Grace with 8, and what is her sister's first name? Sophia with 2 points. Sullivan with 4. Anna Grace, Yerpe, that's a team high 8 points together as a team. They're 0-1 from the line. On the Blue Devils side of things, a 3-point advantage, 20-17 going into the second quarter. 14 rebounds, 1 steal, 15 turnovers as a team. They are 3 of 4 from the line, shooting 75%. Individual notable statistics, Nevard with 1 point, Kelly with 4. Keenan right now with a team high 8 points for the Blue Devils, Bello with 2 points, and Pompey with 4 points right now. Scoring contributions from 5 different Blue Devils, 1 point coming off the bench thus far for the Blue Devils. And on Algonquin's side of the ball, scoring contributions from 4 different players. Right now, Sullivan, the lone bench player, but she's got 4 points for Algonquin, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
So 4 points off the bench
Billy
for
Thomas
Algonquin.
Is back. Time to rock
Billy
and roll.
Thomas is back as we get ready for this second half.
Did a great job, Kate.
Action to get underway. Bill Thomas, for all the action we saw, as I was looking over Kate's shoulder there, fouls finished 5 aside in the first half of action. So really, I was saying, nobody should be in foul trouble at this point. Very clean first half of action for all the excitement.
Very evenly officiated. They let the girls play. and we'll have to see how the second half plays out.
Algonquin goes left to right as we begin the second half of action here in the third quarter. This one dropped to the inside. Carter Frem, turn around on the lane across. Kelly, and gets it to go. Created the space, backed Kelly down, and then turned around and hit the shot.
And I'm sure that's one of the adjustments they talked about, the Algonquin coaches, is work the ball inside and use your strength and height. We'll have to see how Leominster adjusts to that defensively.
Coach Faustino is going to be looking for Algonquin to assert themselves in this basketball game. As Kelly drives through the lane, stepped around the trees, and then missed the shot. Bello not able to reel in the rebound uncontested, and Yerpe ends up with the basketball, and in transition, here comes Algonquin, trailing by 1, 45 seconds into the third. Carter Frem splits the defense and misses the lay-in, and the rebound for Pompey.
Nice job getting it out of trouble there, too.
Caldwell will take it back to the top of the key at the imploring of Coach Frederick. And Carter Frem says, I'll take that, but then stepped on the sideline. Leominster will keep the basketball. 6:56 to play here in the third.
Nice job. Oops, sorry,
No,
go ahead, Kate.
Billy Thomas.
Just stepping in the passing lane. That's what you got to do.
Already you can see from Coach Faustino and from her bench and from the girls that are on the court for Algonquin, the intensity is being notched up.
Well, you have to imagine the diagnosis at halftime was perhaps they were a little too flat in that first half.
They're seeing it all the way down the bench.
Kelly will inbound for Caldwell as we are under the 7-minute mark here of the third quarter. Inside, Pompey with some space. Jump shot doesn't go. Follow on is deflected, but Algonquin is going to end up with the basketball underneath their own defensive hoop.
Good job by the Blue Devils getting shots, just cannot get that to fall. Want to see him continue to be aggressive in the paint, though.
Just going to get the ball.
And she reversed herself on the end line. The official working that baseline said, no, it's Leominster basketball, as Bello gets the feed from Pompey, missed the shot, and then pushed on the follow-on. It'll be Bello that'll get billed for the foul on the push of a Jeezy.
Stay aggressive.
Leominster's first of the second half.
Indeed. 20-19. Leominster still stuck on their halftime score. Algonquin has closed us within 1, and there's a push again. It's Bello once again, and the official will talk to her, and she's kind of saying, you can't put two hands on the back and push and create that separation.
Unfortunately, I think it's going to get Bello a little bench time, too, here early in the third quarter.
Her third, team second of the second half.
And Leominster just got a whole lot smaller as Pompey now becomes your center presence, and Nivard goes into that power forward slot. Sophia Yerpe misses, loose ball bounces to Caldwell, who dribbles to safety.
And this way, Isabel Nivard's got to use her presence inside now. She got the size, she's got to use her ability to control the defensive rebounds for sure.
Kelly for Caldwell. Just about 2 minutes gone by here in the third. Kelly with a persistent pressure from Carter Frem. Faustino tried to buy the call. That's Coach Faustino at the midcourt line.
I think Rusty got it first. Lady Blue Devils doing a lot of standing around here early in the third quarter on the around the three-point line. Got to see them run down that lane a little bit and get the defensive moving.
A little bit of youth there by Kelly, not knowing that she was under pursuit from the backside.
Yes, got to be aware of 360-degree play. Keenan back from Caldwell, finds Nivard. Shot clock violation there, and that is just great matchup defense by Algonquin.
Yeah, and lack of awareness. Nobody on the bench calling out the clock and just allow it to expire there.
Seeing that exchange in intensity right now. Leominster, the team looking flat, and Algonquin looking like they're in the driver's seat. That's exactly what you could not afford to do if you were Leominster.
Adams takes it inside, missed the lay-in. Rebound, Yerpe doesn't go. Yerpe follow on and gets it to go. Throws up her hands in frustration. She's like, I'm getting beat on the inside and not drawing the whistle. That was Anna Grace.
Thank you. Team high 10 now for Algonquin.
And this one a giveaway. Caldwell finds Adams. Up floor, the drive to the lane. Carter Frem draws the contact from Caldwell. She was moving her feet. Carter Frem's got 2 shots coming from the line.
Good job right there on the turnover, taking it hard to the basket before the defense can get set.
Caldwell picks up her first, team third now for Leominster in the second half.
Last trip down the floor, Algonquin reclaimed their lead, something they maintained through a good portion of that first half of action. but they trailed at a couple of key deciding points. End of first quarter and halftime, they found themselves behind. First one by Carter Frem, missed at the line. Second opportunity here.
Only the second free throw and now third free throw for Algonquin in the game.
1 of 2 on the trip, 22-20. Algonquin grows their lead. 5 1/4 left here in the third.
Algonquin breaking out this press now too, and it's disrupting Leominster.
Carter Frem deflected it, but Pompey collected it. Sets up Keenan, long on the mark. Rebound down for Sullivan. A check it, Candela, who came out of the pack. Candela up floor, finds Adams, got an open three, sees three, is three, it's on the board.
I think a timeout is probably on its way for Leominster.
Indeed, as Nevard will go up floor. Inside, Caldwell throws it away. There's a push called. The question is against who? Because it was a loose ball. And they bill it against Caldwell.
So that'll be her second. It'll be team fourth for Leominster.
Fouls adding up.
Compounding those situations. That's the part you got to be worried about. You get into a situation where maybe you throw the ball into traffic, you lose the basketball, then compounding it with that push on the follow-on action just takes one mistake and doubles it. Top of the key, Adams into a triple team. And 3 seconds is called on Yerpe away from the basketball.
That must be a point of emphasis in their latest meeting.
I'm also thinking Coach Frederick's enthusiasm for counting to 3 might have also put that thought in the official's mind as well. As back into the basketball game comes Kylie Cudahy.
Enumeration.
Indeed, we call that enumeration, says the count. Indeed. Cudahy has not seen a lot of action tonight, only playing her second game of the season after a knee injury, but then picked up 2 quick fouls in the second quarter. Nevard drives the lane, doesn't make the shot, but keeps possession. Keenan tries to respace the floor with Nevard. Now back to Cudahy, 4:10 to play here in the third. Algonquin's lead is 5, and in response, now a 3 in the key goes the other way as Bello is called for building a campfire in the lane.
1.
Usually we see a plethora of travels. Tonight is 3 in the key.
3.
Timeout called on the floor. 4:07 to play here in the third. 25-20. Bill Thomas, although we're promoting programming on another streaming service, it is absolutely worth it. Kate and I think, have watched about 10 times a documentary called Sesame Street Gang. It's all about the inside Street Gang. Yeah, the inside production of Sesame Street done by HBO Max. Yeah, fascinating. So Kate learned they had to learn it was called enumeration. You had to teach it. They created a puppet for it. The whole bit. So she's been counting to 3. That's right. 4:07 to play here in the third, 25-20. So you can see we're watching a lot of good programming at the home office there, Bill Thomas.
I'm in it for the future.
Indeed it is. Oh, great to have you with us.
Educational here on RFM.
Here on a Thursday night. And you know what? If you haven't had enough, you can come on back for another. It's another makeup date tomorrow night, Friday, January the 17th. We're on the air at 6:35 on the radio side of things, AM 1280, 105.3 FM, and WPKZ stream for the action on the radio side of things. And we're here on RFM beginning at 6:45 tomorrow night. You can tune in. It's Leominster and Shrewsbury, a makeup boys basketball action tip-off. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry comes your way at 7 o'clock. Tune in for that one. Billy, Kate, and I will count to 3 and then some through the rest of that one as well.
Might be my strength.
A part of basketball you enjoy. A 3-point shot becomes a long 2, but Adams sticks it on the board.
Nice ball movement, getting that ball up court through the press.
And out of the timeout, it's not the exchange you wanted if you're Coach Frederick. Sets up a Cudahy 2, and there's a push away from the play. And remember at halftime when I mentioned that fouls were 5 aside and barely any foul trouble? I'm pretty sure I'm in foul trouble right now. 3:44 to play here in the third.
Adams picks up her third team first for Algonquin.
See if they stop balancing out here.
Perhaps the over pursuit of things can also be noted in the action as well. Players trying to do a little too much. Keenan gave up the dribble, threw up a 2, and it rattles on down.
Nice bounce.
And Leominster got their first 2 points of the second half. It comes at the 3:30 mark of the third quarter.
That's a push. Oh, no.
And no call. Around it goes. That shot is wide of the mark, but Sullivan dribbles away with a rebound. Feeds Carter Frem. Back to the top of the key. That was Candela. And the whistle and Leominster basketball. The call comes from behind the play.
What do we got? Did you see?
I did not.
I didn't
I
either.
had turned my head
Another
just
three.
momentarily. Indeed.
It
That's
can't be a
twice I've been
three.
caught that way tonight.
No
didn't see
peripherals
it.
on that one. Hey, big guy.
Indeed, I missed that one on the old periphery.
I missed the signal.
Up floor, and it's a giveaway once again. Pompey finds its way to Yerpy ahead of the
Playing
pack.
soccer.
I was going to say, you would think a ball called in the feet, but no call. And everything action-wise resets 10 to shoot. Yerpy finds Carter Frem, not because she was looking, drives the lane, and Carter Frem says, I've got a deposit to make. Bank is open, 29-22.
A little accidental offense.
Carter Frem, 5 points in the third quarter, Bill Thomas.
It's been all Carter Frem in the third, and Nevard puts the ball on the floor, draws the contact. Shot does not make it to the rim, but Nevard's got 2 coming from the line. 2:39 to play here in the third. A 29-22 Algonquin lead.
Sullivan picks up her first. It's team second of the second half for Algonquin with Nevard at the line. She is 1 of 2 on the night so far.
And that one rattles home as well. Kate, you noted it in the first half. This is kind of become Nevard's role. Everybody seems to find their role throughout a season. And this year for Nevard, it hasn't been about carrying the team. It's been about getting to the line, drawing fouls, racking up fouls against the opposition, and finishing at the foul line as she goes 1 of 2 on that trip. Back down floor, draws the offensive foul, and does the old barrel roll coming through.
Gets run over, gets the call, and pops right up. That's what we come to expect from Isabella.
2:33 to play here in the third.
Candela picks up her first, team fourth.
Leominster going to have to build some enthusiasm off of that play.
Team third, pardon me.
No worries, coming back up the floor. It's Nevard, bounce across the baseline, finds Marwa, sets up an open Caldwell 3. Too long, bellow to the floor, everybody to the floor. A loose basketball, called, held. Leominster gets it right back on the alternate possession.
A lot of floor burns tonight.
A little bit nervous about some of the chaos, though, especially on Leominster's
All of a sudden
side
appearing.
of the ball. Leominster has done so much better in the last few games when they have maintained that composure and that structure in their game, and right now it's a train off the rail.
I kind of like this chaotic play because I think it's playing into their hands.
Oh, good.
If they can get Algonquin to feed into it.
That one just blocked right down at Marwa. She tries to make a pass, but it's a walk, and right back down the floor it goes for Leominster. Turnover. We've got a tennis match of turnovers developing here tonight.
Bill Thomas, I'm going to have to respectfully agree because when Leominster has kept and maintained that composure and that structure, they had the lead. And right now with the chaos, they're trailing.
Jumper from the left wing doesn't go. Battle for the rebound. The foul is on the floor, and it's going to stay right here.
And we see how quickly the fouls have evened up, Kate. 4 aside now.
4 per side.
Yes.
Adams picks up her first.
Nice pass inside.
Yeah, and then right back out goes Pello, but there was a push from behind.
Has there been more than 16 seconds without a foul?
Not in this
Foul
third
Or
quarter.
some type of
Foul
whistle
or a turnover, yeah.
or
It gets hard to get into your half-court offense or heck, even into your transition offense if the action keeps going the way it is, where the whistle just keeps going off.
Yeah, nobody there.
Inbound thrown away, down floor, Yerpy gets bodied off by Caldwell, who collides with some equipment on the end line.
Caldwell will pick up her third there.
And Sophia Yerpy will head to the line, the sophomore. 1:43 to play here in the third. The lead is 6-4 Algonquin. They've certainly capitalized on the chaotic moments. Yerpy's first will go.
That felt good, you could see that.
Indeed. Now sometimes it's just about kind of pulling the plug, getting the rhythm going.
You know, Todd and Kate, the chaotic moments that I'm seeing, trying to get a drink and readjust. Chaotic moments are really coming off of that press. Algonquin's throwing a nice, strong full-court press, and Leominster's having trouble with it.
That one doesn't go for Yerpy, so 1 of 2 on the trip. The lead is 7. Pompey gets set up for a 3. Doesn't go. Marwa chase baseline, keeps it alive, and collides into the front row. Leominster still with possession. It's Caldwell, then Nevard. Inside it goes to Pompey. Back out Nevard. Uncontested 3 from the right corner is finished and on the board.
Finally, she gets a score from the floor. Good to see. Keep shooting, Isabel.
Leominster within 4 at the 1:10 mark here of the third. Carter Frem to respond. It's a long 2, but it goes up on the board. Final minute here of the third quarter.
7 third quarter Carter Frem points for Algonquin.
Caldwell takes great use of her 2 steps, can't finish at the rim. Now the loose basketball, Carter Frem to the floor, and it becomes a travel, and they pointed down floor, but Carter Frem had the basketball, and Leominster owns the ball on this end of the floor. Yep, it will be Leominster basketball. 50 9/10 left here in the third quarter, a 32-26 Algonquin advantage. Marwal into the corner, Caldwell. Bounce inside Pompey, shot up, she was bothered, called a foul. Pompey's got 2 from the line.
Nice job right there. Rusty calling out a play, a little in and out there, and the girls took advantage of it in the lane, pick up a foul on the defender.
Speaking of Coach Rusty Frederick, coming up post-game here on RFM. Coach Rusty Frederick joins us courtside here, back inside the house tonight as Pompey finishes the first. He'll join us post-game. Kate's got her final stats. Stick around when this one concludes, as we're just getting started here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Bello will step out for Cudahy. So Leominster goes with a lot of guards out there on the floor right now. Second one doesn't go. Rebound down in the hands almost of Nivar. Juggled it and then out of play it goes.
Nice aggressiveness right there. A lot of hands up there though. Put the ball on the floor, then come back up with it. Get those hands out of the way, Isabella. Stay aggressive.
There'll be a 9-second differential. 39 seconds flat left here in the third, and a fresh 30 for Algonquin on the possession. Carter Frem says, hey, thus far it's been my quarter. Up floor, almost had the up and down, kept the pivot foot down. Baseline fine, great look.
Wow.
It was Olkers who snapped it to the baseline and found Cullen, the junior, into the game for the first time.
Classic weak side baseline cut.
And a nice cut into the lane. Sullivan deflects it to the scorer's table. Shot clock off, 18 3/10 left here in the third. Third quarter has been a quarter all about Algonquin basketball, thus the 34-27 lead. The officials converse about the shot clock situation, whether it should have reset or been off. They agree that they're under 30 seconds and there is no shot clock.
I sure hope so.
This is Kelly. Into the corner, finds Caldwell, try to catch and replace, looking for Bello. It got deflected out of play. 6 2/10 seconds here left in the third. Bello is caught up on the inside with Sullivan, and the officials say, you gotta wait for the whistle to begin play. A little too enthusiastic there. And now there's a sub coming in from the table.
I'm wondering why they wouldn't let the sub into the game there.
Pompey for Cudahy creates a little more space, maybe some inside
You
scoring.
don't want to pick up another foul here too as the quarter ends.
Pompey, that's the inbound. Bounce for Kelly. 2 seconds, go 1. Caldwell, long way from the basket. Back for Kelly, and the clock expires, and Coach Frederick is noticeably frustrated over on the bench. 34-27, Algonquin on top on the back of 7 points from Jader Carter Frem here in the third quarter. She has turned this basketball game single-handedly.
Yeah, and what I saw was a much more aggressive Algonquin coming out with that full court press for pretty much the entire quarter and doubling up their halftime score. What did they have at halftime, Todd?
17.
17, so doubled up in that quarter what they had in the first 2 quarters. Good job. I put a lot of that on the coaching at halftime and changing up some things, being more aggressive and looking for better shots. Algonquin accomplished what they probably talked about at halftime.
Well, you got to imagine one of the things they had to have talked about was Leominster's feeling maybe a little too comfortable pressing the basketball here, and now take the action right back at them, put the pressure right back at them, and all of a sudden they've struggled with it as Kate, and they can see you on camera.
Oh, I know.
Poking away at me here. Yes.
She has a point to make.
Bill Thomas, I've got a stat for you. In the
right.
first half of play, we had scoring contributions for Algonquin from 4 different players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Algonquin players now on the stat sheet with points. So there's been a diversification of point scoring, but all still, Carter Frem, all 7 of her points coming in the third quarter alone. So it was her show, it was her quarter, but in addition, she had 3 additional new friends also join the fray.
And I think that's a good point, Kate. They found a
I
way
like
to
to stay
expand
off
the
camera
bench.
and just poke you.
I was going to say.
Expanding them those scoring opportunities from the bench.
Final 8 minutes of regulation up on the board, and we're away here in the fourth quarter. The drive, it's Carter Frem. 3 in the key, that was Yerpy,
We got 11 seconds that time without a whistle.
I was gonna say, and there it was, 11 seconds into this fourth and final quarter of regulation.
Algonquin's still full court pressing on everything.
Caldwell finds Kelly. The drive, push shot, front rim, no. Battle for the rebound, Pompey, put back will go.
Nice job, finally getting an offensive rebound conversion.
30 seconds gone by here in the fourth.
Bill Thomas, offensive rebounds and rebounds in general for Leominster have been few and far between.
The drive to the lane, scoop shot there from Carter Frem, and she got bodied off the play. 2 shots coming up here for Carter Frem.
Got ran over, but didn't quite have a position established there.
Kelly picks up her second, team 6th for the Blue Devils. 6 fouls apiece on both sides of the ball, so both teams will be in the bonus from here on out.
And that one will
That was
go.
beautiful.
Indeed it was. Seems like one of those situations where Carter Frem has lit the wick and has certainly showed up in force here in the second half.
Say that again.
Pompey up floor, finds it into the inside Caldwell. Got it back on a deflection from Pompey. Long shot doesn't go. And then Nivard may have got a finger on it. It's out of play and the ball back to Algonquin. Not quite 50 seconds into this fourth quarter. And I think the kind of herky-jerky nature of this second half has certainly advantaged Algonquin, as Leominster can't seem to get into rhythm at all.
Algonquin, I just think, has been more athletic in this second half, and they've taken advantage of it. Once again, especially on that full court press, and they're setting up, they're running a 2-1-1 press here, or a 2-2-2, but they're really filling the middle.
They're not running a 2-2-2.
I was going to say 2-2-2, they got 6.
1-2-2, it looks like a 2-2-2.
Feels
Even
like
I
a
know
1-2-2
that.
there
Feels
built
like
up.
it, yeah, they got an extra
I'm
player
like,
out there.
That's 6.
Nivard drives the lane, gets held up, and that one doesn't go. And
I've never
Count
seen a
Von Count
2-2-2.
is back again.
I'm back again. 1,
Sesame Street.
2,
I was waiting for that.
3,
I haven't been watching enough Sesame Street.
4, 5. We got to stop at 5, Bill Thomas.
Nivard's got 2 shots at the line. Adams would like an explanation.
We'll send you the episode. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's good stuff, nonetheless.
Billy will learn enumeration in the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday.
Eventually.
We'll give you a diploma.
That one misses off the side of the rim. 6:51 to play here in the fourth. 35-29 Algonquin's lead, and Leominster sorely needing some more points. Kate, 9 second half points, if my memory serves.
5, 6, 9. Yep.
0 of 2 on the trip on that one, and the rebound for Yerpy.
Yeah, Nipmuc gave me a diploma, but sometimes I think they might want it back, so I could use another one.
No.
what
Inside
a
drive,
pass.
shot up does not go for Sullivan, and the rebound down for Pompey.
Well, Thomas, I wouldn't worry. Todd can't subtract, and he's going to have an advanced degree in 3 months.
Indeed, it is definitely not in mathematics
I was
or
going to say,
enumeration.
right.
That
It's
is
not his field.
That is the fact.
Yeah, subtraction. That's tough.
Addition is so much better.
It
You
is.
get more of something. Subtraction so much harder. You get less of something, or you have less of something. Kelly, the drive shot doesn't go. That one off
They
the
get
forehead
back
of
up.
Sullivan. Caldwell, turnaround, banks it in at the shot clock buzzer.
That's the way to beat the buzzer.
And
That
Coach
was
Frederick says full court pressure.
Yeah, get
Find
up there
somebody
on
and
him.
press the ball. 4-point basketball game, under 6 minutes to play here in the fourth. Drive the lane, Kelly ties up the ball. Alternate possession is going to belong to Leominster.
Yes, it is. Coming back this way. Good to see. Seems like all the alternate
She is a
possessions have
scrappy
been going
They've been
little
on.
going in this direction, Bill Thomas.
Yeah,
Didn't matter which
everything's in
team
this
was.
right. They're not-
Everything's
I
going
think the
this
light
way.
is stuck.
5:48 to play here in the fourth. 35-31. The lead is 4 for Algonquin. Pompey bothered as she crossed the timeline. Nivard took straight to the hoop. May have been bothered, but the shot was not close. Carter Frem dribbles the ball to safety and now takes it into the front court. Inside, this is Yerpy working on a much smaller Keenan, and Keenan stayed close and bothered the shot enough that Yerpy missed. 2-on-1 down floor, inside passing. Nice hustle by Sullivan to get a hand in the passing lane. It'll be out of play. Leominster will keep the basketball, but Sullivan avoids giving up the easy 2 on the low left block.
Yeah, nice pass right there by Nevad to the weak side, but defense got back.
Coach Frederick calls out a play. 5:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. Swing, top of the key, finds Keenan. Caldwell back to Keenan. Keenan drive, throws up a shot. Foul called as the whistle goes off. Keenan goes to the line to shoot 2. We talked about it in the first half of action. Coach Frederick riding the hot hand here. Leominster has struggled with offense, but Keenan has brought some consistent offense throughout the last couple of weeks.
Candela picks up her second, team 8th for Algonquin.
And I got a stat for you, Kate.
Oh boy.
Well, since Leominster was billed for 4 straight fouls in the second half now, the fouls have really turned around. 8-2 since it was 4-0 Leominster side, and now they're only up to 6.
Who's calculating runs?
And
Indeed he is.
Algonquin's been billed for 8 in that same time period, so they tend to balance out.
2 of 2 on the trip for Keenan. Keenan will check back out, and Taylor Boulay comes back in. Leominster within 2 at 35-33. 5 minutes left here in regulation.
Good job disrupting the up-court action here.
The drive over half court with possession. This is Candela. Candela working on Caldwell, and Caldwell
A little tacky.
signaled for the push
A
there.
little ticky-tacky right there, just playing some up-body defense.
And it becomes the 7th foul booked against Leominster. It'll be a 1 plus a bonus opportunity.
Both teams shooting the rest of the way now.
Most importantly, that's Caldwell's 4th.
I don't see her coming out, though. Let her play this out. Unless, I don't know. I'd leave her in, Rusty. Leave her in. Let her play.
First opportunity doesn't go for Candela. Battle for the rebound. Boulay says Ole and changes the direction of the basketball. And then a tie up, and they say on the inside, it was Sullivan tied up as the ball got trapped right here in front of our broadcast position. And it will be the 9th foul charged against Algonquin.
That was a quick foul right there.
Sullivan's 2nd, team 9.
A 1-and-1 opportunity for Caldwell at the line. 4:50 to play here in the fourth. Caldwell couldn't hit the shot. Battle for the rebound. Pompey comes out with it. Swings it for Keenan. Left wing 2. And that one will go. 35 all. 4:40 to play here in the fourth.
Keenan with a team high 12 points for Leominster tonight.
And now a trap up floor, and there's a whistle and a hold called away from the basketball. Taylor Boulay gets booked for that one.
I don't know if you noticed, Todd and Kate, but I believe Algonquin's only scored 1 point in this fourth quarter.
All of a sudden, their offensive production has gone down.
You're right. Carter Frem's lone free throw, Bill Thomas.
Yep.
Well done.
And so to the foul line goes Sullivan. And Sullivan's got a 1-and-1 opportunity here. This game and the direction things are going, it's going to be a war of attrition. Who can keep players active in the basketball game and not end up on the bench with 5 fouls? And then who can hit their free throws? First opportunity missed, but the rebound for Sullivan keeps Algonquin's possession alive. For Candela. Then back to the freshman, Brooke Adams. Sets up Carter Frem, rims out, that one will not go, but run down on the rebound. That was Sullivan, gets it right back from Candela, and Sullivan will hit it from the right wing.
Chaotic offense, but it pays off for Algonquin right there. Got Leominster running around.
First points from the field for Algonquin in the fourth quarter.
Halfway through this fourth quarter, and it's 37-35. Algonquin reclaims the lead. And let the back and forth action begin. Cross court. Right back it goes, deflected in midair. Candela comes away with the turnover.
Too much passing around the arc. Got to work it in and out, girls.
Fans of the families in attendance tried to get a cheer going.
Oh,
the drive to the lane, Carter Frem, crossbody block. She goes to the floor hard, but she is working her way up.
I felt that.
Indeed, great hustle there by Carter Frem. She has had a phenomenal second half, and good to see her up. Just grabbing her elbow, may have braced herself on the way to the floor, and sometimes that can be the toughest.
The elbow looks kind of red
cookie.
if it's her right elbow.
It is,
Definitely got some floor burns on it.
Pompey picks up her first. It's going to be team 9th for the Lady Blue Devils, and what a tough kid Carter Friend is.
And of course
I would have been on the fly, but no, I'm done.
I'm going to stay right
I'm
here.
looking around. All the girls' elbows are red. I think every girl's been on the floor tonight
At some
one time
point
or
tonight,
another.
yeah. I was going to say the hustle
Absolutely.
plays have
There's
been out tonight.
The hustle has definitely been out in full force tonight.
Caldwell's going to get a spell here. Boulay will check back in at the point. 3:40 to play here in the fourth. Coaches managing offense for defense here, trying to move players around at the stoppages. Carter Frem goes 2 of 2. 38-35, excuse me, 1 of 2. 38-35, a 3-point lead for Algonquin at the 3.5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Keenan gets it right back from Pompey. Round they go the other side, 15 to shoot. Kelly sheds a defender, pops up a shot, doesn't go. Bello crashes, rebound, scrapes glass, and that one will go.
That's away. One bounce on the floor, let the girls overjump you, and then go up. Nice job by Bello right there.
3:10 to play here in the fourth. The cut, nice job by Candela, and finishes at the
A
rim.
weak side baseline cut. Nice heads up pass right there.
Coach Frederick tries to slow Kelly down. Good luck. That's a train out of control, and he has to call the timeout in order to stop the action and set up a half-court offense. 2:57 left here in the fourth. 40-37, Algonquin's lead, a 3-point basketball game, and
A whale of a basketball
Indeed
game, I will
it has
add.
been.
A
Wow.
whale of a game.
It has been a treat thus far, and the answers as to how things will finish up certainly will be just as exciting. You can see the officials conversing with the scorers table as both books are comparing notes with one another. With the amount of fouls, you have to imagine here there may be some discrepancies.
Especially with shooting coming into it.
Absolutely.
The double bonus now for both teams coming down the stretch.
Numbers matter at this point in time.
Come over and ask us. Kate's got it.
I don't want that responsibility. I've been teaching you how to count to 5, Billy.
2:57 to play here in the fourth. Here's a reset. 9 fouls aside. Double bonus action comes on the next whistle in either direction on the foul. So 2 foul shots coming the rest of the way for either team who draws a foul. Alternate possession favors Algonquin on a tie-up. Foul trouble, Kate. Anybody teetering right now around that 4 foul mark?
For Leominster, Caldwell with 4, Bello with 3. For Algonquin, Adams with 3.
You know, we got to look at, let's look beyond regulation, too, once fouls start adding up. You
Well,
don't
Thomas,
get,
do you know what my
you don't get
bedtime
extra
is?
opportunities.
Can we talk for a second? My bedtime. There'll be no extra
Yeah,
time.
I got myself a date, too, but I wouldn't mind
Date
seeing a little
with
bonus.
my pillow.
Little bonus basketball.
With my pillow.
I'll take some bonus basketball. Sorry, Kate.
2:50 to play here in the fourth. Kelly launches a 3. It doesn't go. Tipped ball. Candela gets out in front of the break and got
Out of bounds.
pushed out of bounds, but it is called a slip.
Yeah.
She is on the
She was out of
sideline,
bounds over
and
here
the
when she
ball
touched
will
the
go
ball.
back to Leominster.
Sideline official right here on it, too. Good job.
2:45 to play here in the fourth. A 3-point basketball game. Algonquin holds the advantage. Pompey danced back and forth across that timeline.
close.
That footwork questionable. She'll get it back inside. Nevard throws up
There
the
we
hook,
go.
and that one will
Isabella,
go.
that's a way to get inside. Use that strength.
Within 1.
She's got
40-39.
7 points now, Nevard. 6 of them coming here in the fourth quarter.
Algonquin with the advantage. A jump stop. There was a push on the shot opportunity as Anna Grace Yerpe gets shoved on her way to the line.
That'll be 10 team limit now for Leominster. And that foul is going to be against Kelly. Kelly picks up her 3rd team limit for the second half.
And the inside here, it's Anna Grace Yerpe foul line. 2:19 to play here in the fourth. The lefties first. Friendly iron will get it to fall. 41-39.
She's 1 of 2 on the night thus far.
Queuing up another opportunity here. Second one rattles home as well. 42-39. Algonquin
team-
reclaims that 3-point
Pardon
lead.
me.
No, you're good.
Team high 12 points for Anna Grace thus far.
This is Kelly from Pompey. Now they go left side. Caldwell fakes. There's nobody on the low block for Leominster on the left. Nevard dribbles in between defenders. Shot up. Gets fouled. And Nevard's going to the line to shoot 2.
Good job
Team
using.
limit.
Kate, sorry about that, but good job by Nevard using that baseline she's got real comfortable down there, and I love seeing that aggressiveness.
Anna Grace picks up her first team limit for Algonquin.
Tell you, great discipline by Anna Grace Yerpe to have only drawn one foul in the way this action has gone thus far, as Nivard hits the first and makes it a 2-point basketball game.
Nivard with 8 points, 7 coming here in the fourth quarter.
2 of 2.
She just looks more comfortable every game too, Kate.
42-41, a 1-point basketball game. Final 2 minutes here of regulation. It's Carter Fromm working on Kelly. Carter Fromm with the lefty dribble. Will drop it off for Sophia Yerpe. For Adams. Backs up, foul line extended, gave it to Yerpe, and yes, skidded the pivot foot. It's a walk, and the ball will go back to Leominster. 1:45 to play here in the fourth. Chance to reclaim the lead for Leominster on this trip. Cross court, Caldwell, 3, it's short of the mark. Fair catch made by Adams underneath the basket. Final 90 seconds here of the fourth quarter. Into the front court, and with the dribble, it's Carter Fromm in no particular hurry. They've got the 1-point advantage, and Nivard comes over the back. Correctly called there on Adams. Gives away 2 shots.
Nivard will pick up her first team limit.
Potential to be a 1-possession game either way here after the shots from Adams. The lefties first, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Nice job right there. It's come down to who can make their free throws, it seems like.
81 seconds left here in regulation.
Through 3 quarters, Algonquin was 2 of 5 from the line. Leominster was 3 of 4.
That one rims out, battle for the loose ball, and Caldwell juggles but corrals. 1:15 left here in the fourth. It's a 2-point basketball game. Advantage Algonquin. Bounce on the floor. Around the world, it's Caldwell, gave up the ball, and they're gonna grant the timeout.
Wow.
Coach Rusty Frederick gets the timeout just as Caldwell lost the handle. Coach Faustino kind of hopped and gave a clap. Thought she maybe had the pick there with some good defense. But a timeout on the floor. Leominster takes the timeout, 1:05 left here in the fourth quarter, trailing 43-41.
Good timeout by Coach Fredericks there. He saw his girl was about to be trapped with the ball, and just got that timeout call before that errant pass, because that looked like it was going to be over the backcourt at the very least. Could lead to an easy basket for Algonquin.
On the reset, 43-41 Algonquin. Fouls at 10 aside. You're shooting the rest of the way as soon as the whistle goes off for a foul. Alternate possession favors Algonquin on the tie-up. Kate, at this point in the action, looks like I'm going to lean over as you do a calculation there. Caldwell still got the 4 fouls on the Leominster side of things. And then down a little farther, you've got Kelly playing with 3, and you've got Bello in and out of the game also with 3. 3 fouls just for the 1. Down low there, it's Adams with the 3 fouls for Algonquin. On the reset.
And Bill Thomas, you were talking about free throws being a potential difference maker. Right now, through nearly 4 full quarters with 1:05 remaining in the game. Right now, Algonquin 7 of 12 from the line, so they're shooting 58%. Leominster 9 of 14 from the line, shooting 64%, which I would hazard a guess far better than their season average.
I would be right there with you, Kate. We'll have to see who can make them down the stretch here. They seem to mean more in the last minute of the game.
Caldwell screens for Nivard. Goes corner for Kelly. Ends up back with Caldwell. Push shot through the lane. Doesn't go. Rebound ripped down by Adams. Adams tried to give it on the outlet for Carter Fromm. Leominster with the steal. They get it back. Bounce in the corner. Keenan juggles. Out of play. Point. It's Algonquin basketball. 45.5 left here in the fourth.
Chaotic basketball right there. Leominster just couldn't get the handle on that greasy basketball.
43-41, Algonquin's lead, and they've got the ball. 15.5 second differential shot clock to game clock. The screen of Kelly from Adams allows Carter Fromm into the front court. Adams an open 3 from straight away, does not go. Rebound for Kelly, but a 2-second differential on the change of possession. Here's the drive. Caldwell, push shot, side of the support, doesn't go. Rebound down for Adams. Outlet up floor for Candela. Shot clock off. Final 20 seconds of regulation. Leominster will give the foul. It's Kelly that will give it. 2 shots coming up here at the line.
I don't think she had much choice there. Time running down.
The difficulty, though, there, Bill Thomas, Leominster with the possession of the ball, and on the offensive end,
couldn't convert.
Get rid of it too quickly.
I
Give
agree.
Algonquin possession.
And that is the 5th foul called on Caldwell.
Yep, that's our 5th.
So they hit Caldwell for the foul there, and
How's Candela?
I thought it was Kelly.
How's Candela doing from the line, Kate, tonight?
Candela tonight is 0 of 1.
0 of 1, so she hasn't spent much time there tonight.
Caldwell fouls out with 18 and 1/10 seconds left and 4 second half points. They came in the third quarter, Kate.
That's absolutely correct.
43-41. Candela at the line, the juniors first.
Nothing but net, money.
3-point lead.
Turn this into a 2-possession game right here.
An important shot here for Candela. Takes her time, shot away. And it rattles home.
Wow.
Timeout taken by Coach Melissa Faustino before the Leominster inbound. 18 and 1/10 second left here in the fourth. It's a 2-possession basketball game, and the lead for Algonquin at 45-41.
You know, you wonder what kind of strategy Algonquin will come out here, play defense or maybe foul and, you know, not get a chance for a 3-pointer and then maybe an inbound turnover. We'll have to see how Algonquin plays this in the last 18 seconds defensively.
Talk about more ways to watch. You're watching the live action here on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Media Rivalry here on RFM with your live action. You want to see this one on demand? Available for you later on tonight. It's on YouTube, youtube.com. Search Rivalry Family Media or follow that tiny URL, tinyurl.com/Media Rivalry. Takes you directly to our YouTube on demand page. This one will be available later on this evening. Updates available on social media, scheduling, and some of the best news from around the region. Thanks to a litany of great follows on our part, gets you some of the best reporting all across the state at Media Rivalry for the updates on Twitter. Like, follow, and subscribe today, or as Kate just adores me saying, smash that like button.
Nobody says that.
Smash that like button.
Nope.
Now there's 2 of us. 45-41, Algonquin with the lead.
Gotta stick
My
together,
2
Todd.
trendsetters over here. My 2 trendsetters.
Where are we inbound? Down here.
The inbound comes your way on the baseline. More action coming up tomorrow night. It's boys basketball action. 7 o'clock the tip-off for Leominster and Shrewsbury right here on RFM. Our stream begins at 6:45. Radio home action joins us in simulcast. AM 1280, 105.3 FM, and WPKZ stream joins you at 6:35 for the extended countdown to tip-off. Back down floor, it's Nevard, races to the lane, scoop shot doesn't go, rebound down for Adams, foul is given by Pompey, and 8 seconds flat left here in the fourth quarter, and this basketball game may be all wrapped up in the favor of Algonquin.
We'll have to see what happens here. 1 foul shot, pretty much going to put it out of reach. 2, a little tough with 8 seconds, with especially a running clock on made baskets. You wouldn't even have to inbound.
Adams first is denied by the front of the rim.
Adams 1 for 3 from the line tonight.
Coach Frederick pulls 2 Leominster players down the floor. It's Keenan and Kelly who flare out to the wings on either side of the floor. Made basket there, 46-41, a 5-point game. This is Nevard, finds Pompey. Corner sets up Keenan, can't handle it, kept it alive, deflected, this one's all over. That shot will not go, and this one is a win for Algonquin. Coach Melissa Faustino may not have loved portions of it, but her team persevered on the back of Jada Carter-Frem, who had a phenomenal second half to deliver a 46-41 Algonquin victory here on a Thursday night.
Algonquin really found the adjustments at halftime, came out firing on all cylinders in that third quarter. You know, doubled up their halftime score, and you know, you got to give Leominster credit for playing great defense tonight. You know, we talked about how they've, even in their losses, they've cut down on the number of points that the opposition's been scoring. They accomplished that tonight. Check that box, but just couldn't get those layups and those in the paint baskets to fall for them tonight. Plenty of good looks, plenty of opportunities. At times, it just seemed like there was a lid on that basket.
Algonquin improves their record here in this what is seemingly early season thanks to a lot of adjusted schedules to 4-1. Leominster falls to 1-5 here in the early going of this season. More coming up here on RFM. Leominster head coach Rusty Frederick joins us courtside. Kate's got your complete game recap and stats. All that coming up as we are just getting started. Post-game coming your way next. Final score from inside the gym at Leominster High School. It's Algonquin 46 and Leominster 41. Post-game up next. Interview with Coach Rusty Frederick. Stand by, more to come. This is RFM. Back inside the gym at Leominster High School, 46-41, Algonquin the winner tonight in what was an exciting basketball game. Joined now by Leominster High School head coach Rusty Frederick. And coach, the conversation going on over here in the stands as parents from both sides filed out is about just how great a basketball game that was. An exciting game for both sides. You guys a little bit short on this one tonight, but a lot of things looked real good.
Yeah, I'm so proud of the girls, the way they played. Both teams played hard, you know. She's over there coaching hard, and we had players step up today. We're getting there, you know. We're climbing that hill, and when we get there, you know, we can go as high as we want. So it's about working hard. You know, even the ones that didn't play, when they got in a little bit, they stepped up. They were ready on the bench. And as we start getting into more practices now, because it's been a little downtime here for the last couple of weeks, I think we're going to, you know, we weren't in the best shape today, but either were they, you know. So, but I was so proud of this team today, the way they battled.
Players have played their way into the lineup. You know, that's one of those things as a coach, you know, you always talk about, you know, if you want an opportunity to play, you play your way in and make me have no other choice but to put you into the game. Two of them tonight started tonight, Nicole Kelly being one of them, and then the other being Mia Keenan, who for a while was your offensive production.
Yeah, she stepped up big time. I mean, I know I'm going to get defense from her, and she can get hot. So, you know, and I don't have to tell her to shoot. So it's going up, and she was on tonight, and she played hard, and Nicole was awesome today too, and Frankie on the boards, and Jules on the boards, and Isabella starting to come through. This was her first day back. I mean, we had a lot of people step up today, and I just love the effort, you know. We were dying out there, but they're like, Coach. I go, take your break during the rest of the ball. You know, suck it up.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're looking out at the floor and you're looking at how players are kind of moving without the basketball and creating those opportunities, it certainly seemed like away from the ball, players were getting themselves into open space, and your guards were able to bring the ball up floor, find the player who was in that open space, and of course, keep Algonquin away from the basketball. Yeah,
that's what they do. They work you. They kind of try to force you into mistakes, and I thought we did a good job handling the pressure. And you know, maybe a few times we kind of rushed it a little bit, and then we regained our composure. And yeah, I thought we did a good job. You know, we didn't hit all the shots we wanted to, but that's going to come.
Second half, certainly when they increased their pressure, that certainly seemed like perhaps it threw your team off a little bit. Maybe they thought at halftime that might have been the adjustment there, as Leominster might have looked a little too comfortable, and they tried to make you quite a bit more uncomfortable in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was the separation they got right there, was in that third quarter. But you know, you look up and it's a tie game again. You know, it's just the relentlessness of both teams, really. And you know, they made more shots than we did tonight, and they made some plays at the end, and we were right there, man. The ball's on that rim, goes in, we get a timeout, pressure again, but you know, those are the breaks. Like I said earlier, I thought we executed pretty good down the stretch. We got to the hole, ball didn't go in, we got some good looks. You know, that stuff happens.
We talked a little bit about it on the broadcast, and of course there's that balance of aggressiveness, and then there's being either overly aggressive in the game, or use that boxing term, I said effective aggressiveness. It's always the thing they're looking for. There's being aggressive, and then there's being effective while being aggressive.
Right. So we have the aggressive type, you know, so they always want to go, so we're playing good defense, but then when we go to the offensive end, we got to learn to settle down. Like, it's like turn it off a little bit, so we can see things. And I thought they did, you know, that's coming, you know, where once we go, we start throwing the ball around a little bit. I thought we did a better job tonight of, like, controlling ourselves, taking a breath back, and, you know, seeing the floor. And when they did that and we got the ball to the middle, I'm very happy with the way we played. You know, I'm going to go home and, you know, have a Gatorade. And
you need to refuel, Coach, as it turns out as well. Got a couple of days of practice here, and then you're right back at it out on the floor, as well as the kind of herky-jerky nature of the schedule continues. But maybe, like you said, settling down a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're going to start settling into things now, and you know, hopefully we do. And we get to practice, we work hard, you know, and then we have Millbury Tuesday, another pretty good team, you know.
Giving you some great battles in years past.
Oh, yeah, and so he's a good coach over there, and he has a great program, and we got our work cut out. We just got to turn that corner, you know, get one of those big wins, and then, you know, we got Wachusett, the horse coming Fridays up there. So, you know, it's going to be a tough week, but we're ready to go.
Indeed you will. 46-41, Algonquin a winner over Leominster tonight in an exciting basketball game here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Leominster High School head coach Rusty Frederick, thank you so much. We'll see you in the weeks ahead as well. We continue with more Kate's final stats and a final word here from the gym at Leominster High School, and we continue. This is RFM. Back inside the gym at Leominster High School. Went a little quick on you, Kate, there. Sorry about that. Post-game continues. 46-41. Algonquin a winner over Leominster tonight. Back here in our courtside broadcast position. And Kate, first half stats looked really good if you were wearing blue and white. Second half stats really good if you were wearing the maroon and gold. And ultimately Algonquin tonight perseveres to a victory, holding on down the stretch. What do you see on the stat sheet?
Well, I think before we get to the numbers, because I think it will bear it out, Coach Frederick, I think, reiterated what we were talking about. On the offensive end of the ball in the first half, Leominster stuck with their game plan, and they didn't play off the rails. That aggressiveness was just enough to keep Algonquin on their toes, or on their heels, rather, and it was effective. And then the adjustments at halftime that Algonquin was able to make really becomes a difference maker, and Leominster not able to keep up punch for punch. Biggest thing I'm seeing stat-wise from Algonquin in the first half, scoring contributions on the stat sheet from only 4 players. By the time you get to the fourth quarter, the end of the game, 8 players find themselves on the stat sheet. The most notable, 9 second half points from Carter Frem. She basically put this team on her back. She didn't have a team high. The team high was still Anna Grace Yerpe with 12, but Carter Frem's 9 is the difference maker in this. She did not contribute to the score sheet in the first half. She was not one of the 4 that did, but she was one of the 8, and she was a significant one of the 8 by the time the game ends. And so that diversification of point scoring, Leominster just simply could not keep up. On Leominster's side of the ball, they had 5 people in the first half make contributions to the stat sheet. By the end of the game, they had 6. They had just 1 additional player posting points for their team. It was 4 points. It was Caldwell's 4 second half points, but you're not seeing the same diversification that you saw from Algonquin. But I'll show you the numbers right now. Team totals first for Leominster as a team, of course, 46-41 deficit. Obviously, the 5-point loss for Leominster in this game to Algonquin. 9 of 14 from the line, 25 rebounds, 1 steal, 25 turnovers for the Blue Devils. Once again, you've got 6 players that are contributing to the scoring. Caldwell ends the night with 4. Nevard ends the night with 9. She exploded in the second half. She had 1 point in the first half. She tallies an additional 8 points in the second half, and we finally see her making contributions from the field. She had a 3, and she had an additional 2 points from the field. Kelly ends her night with 4 points on the evening. Keenan ends the night with 12, and that's a team high 12 for the Leominster Blue Devils. Bello ends her night with 4 points, and Pompey ends her night with 7 points. Now for the Algonquin basketball team's side of the court. Again, it's a 5-point victory for them. 46-41 is the final. 10 of 18 from the line is Algonquin on the night. 25 rebounds, 1 steal, 21 turnovers for Algonquin. Scoring contributions, once again, those 9 second-half points from Carter Frem were the difference maker in this one. But Ejizi has 3 points on the night. Cullen has 2. Sophia Yerpe has 3 points on the night. Candela ends her night with 4. Adams ends her night with 2. Anna Grace Yerpe ends her night with a team-high 12 points for Algonquin. Adams ends her night with 5 points. Sullivan ends her point with 6 points on the evening. But again, it's that 5-point differential at the end of the game. Algonquin the victor. 46-41 is your final in this one tonight.
And it was. To Coach Rusty Frederick's point, Leominster just played better tonight, and they've played with more intensity and with more purpose. He said it was noticeable that maybe they were a little bit gassed. I've got to say, they look like they were good for another 12 rounds.
Well, and you say that. I did hear him in earnest when he said in the postgame to suck it up. That's what he was saying out there. You could hear him cross court. The girls must have been saying, I'm gassed or something, and he flat out told them, suck it up. You've got another minute and 5 seconds left. Take your break at the whistle. There were plenty of them. But you have a situation in which you're asking a lot of these girls when you're not able to consistently condition, when you're in a situation where even conditioning, you're required to wear a mask over your nose and under your chin at all times. Prior to COVID, you would hear about people conditioning with masks as a way of high altitude conditioning.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So it's a strange situation to be in when you are trying to condition, but you've had so many breaks in play. The interesting part will be that Leominster's schedule right now turns into a rapid fire gauntlet. It's been kind of laissez-faire here over the last couple of weeks because of COVID shutdowns on one side of the ball or another. But right now, as long as both teams stay healthy, Leominster's going to be playing basketball every couple of days. And so a game like tonight where they are essentially forced to use their legs, and we saw that essentially full court pressure throughout the entire 4 quarters from Leominster because that was the game plan, was to cause that chaos on the other side of the ball. They're gonna be well conditioned by the end of this. The hope is that they continue to stay healthy and that they're able to continue to maintain that type of game plan, because when they're playing well, they're playing up to their competition. And like he said, he's got Wachusett coming in a few games. It's going to be a very big deal for them if they're able to continue to play up rather than play down. We've seen this Leominster team, not necessarily this year, but in years past, play down a lot to the competition. Nice to see them playing up to the competition.
They'll be swinging uphill for sure. I wasn't being rude. I was actually looking for something.
I knew what you were doing.
You mentioned the mask policy, and of course we've been chronicling the COVID protocols and
gotten a
what have you.
reiteration of
And
it.
there was a reiteration, and it was a clarification, which was important because if you were following on social media yesterday, and we were retweeting the news out there on Twitter at Media Rivalry, if you want to follow along, some of the reporting coming out of the Eastern Mass folks that were on the call with Franklin and the MIAA meeting that was going on, there was a discussion about the mask policy, and
Something
and
wasn't clear
basically,
coming out of Franklin?
Go figure, right? There was a motion made by the committee, the basketball committee, because there were concerns expressed about just what you were talking about, Kate, which is, of course, the health related to the masks being on with players that are on the floor. Other states they were pointed to, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and others, that have made masks either optional or taken them away at points in time. My understanding is there was some clarification posted by the media involved that was inaccurate in the conversation, that actually no states bordering Massachusetts have removed mask mandates at this point, but there was some discussion about that. And so the basketball committee, in a split vote, actually made a recommendation to follow on with a recommendation to the board of directors of the MIAA to remove masks for both the players and officials out on the floor. They've already seen reduced spectator numbers, but the motion was to recommend the removing of masks in basketball. Ooh. And that, of course, led to some buzz about people saying, oh, we don't have to wear masks anymore and what have you. And so earlier on today, there was a reposting. Dr. Robert Baldwin, the new executive director, on the job less than a year as the executive director at the MIAA, posted the following, and it is a full statement. I will read a part of it. It says, I have learned throughout my career that the only thing worse than a lack of information is a mixed message. Yesterday, the MIAA Basketball Committee voted to recommend to the association's board of directors that basketball players and officials have the option to not wear masks during play. This recommendation is well within their purview, and in this case, serves as a recommendation only to the board of directors. This memo intends to provide our members with a clear message regarding mask wearing guidelines and what continues to be the intent of this association as a whole. That is why the MIA has been in lockstep with the DESE's masking recommendations. The point in boldface is the following. Student athletes, coaches, and officials that are indoors shall be masked. And as he said in closing, I respect and honor the difficulty of local control. However, I felt the need to send a clear and consistent message to our member schools that we will continue to stay the course as we continue to navigate the current winter season. That is Dr. Robert Baldwin, Executive Director of the MIAA. In part, full posting is available at Media Rivalry on Twitter from the MIAA.
I have a question, however.
Yes.
If DESE, which they just did last week, extended their mask mandate, even with any type of recommendation to the MIAA, if the school, if DESE at large requires indoor masking, wouldn't it be a moot point anyway? Isn't that mask mandate extended to like March already?
So the clarification, the part that I jumped over in the message, spoke to this a little bit.
I apologize.
No, that's okay. It said from, again, this was the middle paragraph that I hopped over. It said, I attended a meeting yesterday where an esteemed medical doctor said that the current surge is 20-fold higher than the first surge when COVID-19 began. This is not the time to be sending a mixed message regarding masking guidelines to our membership. DESE recently extended its mask requirement for all K-12 public schools in Massachusetts through February 28, 2022, based upon the current Omicron surge. It is the intent of the MIAA to stay the course as well.
So they wouldn't have had a choice either way.
Correct. Or at the very least, they do have a choice, but they intend to stay in lockstep with DESE is the point that they continue to make.
But if you're having an event in a school, that falls under the purview of the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, can the MIAA not then supersede
That's a great question.
Isn't that like the supremacy clause?
You would certainly think so, but as you know, it is a complicated confederation of rules and confederation of membership that brings this all together.
I declare the supremacy clause of the DESE.
And so says the government teacher. That, of course, is kind of the larger picture. We've said it's loomed in the background
quite a bit. But I mean, these are the types of conversations that go on. If you and I are having this type of a conversation,
you can only imagine what the meeting is like with 300-plus member schools all across the state. But again, that information continues to come to the foreground. We thought it may stay in the background. Clearly, the Omicron surge has certainly pushed this conversation to the foreground. We will continue to chronicle it for you. I can certainly say out on the court tonight, I thought mask wearing and mask mandates looked like they were being much more abided to than what we had seen in the action in December and, of course,
we'll see
in
how
early
the boys
January.
do tomorrow.
I was going to say it would be something certainly to mention and to monitor as well. That point, of course, Kate, Shrewsbury and Leominster coming up tomorrow as well, and we've got that action for you here. Bill Thomas is about to get faded in on camera. Watch him about to jump out of play as we cut to our courtside cam.
There he is.
And Bill Thomas hanging just above the
like
rim.
Wilson.
Indeed he does.
He looks like
He does.
Wilson.
We're back in his home improvement days. Oh, man. More action comes your way tomorrow night. That's Friday, January the 14th. 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock the tip-off. The action begins here on RFM. Facebook Live, facebook.com/Media Rivalry for your action. It's Leominster and Shrewsbury boys basketball action. We are with our partners at the K-Zone. Radio coverage begins at 6:35, and we'll have that action for you here, assuming that nothing affects or reschedules this one, which, of course, got rescheduled because of snow from last Friday as
You have
well.
a voicemail from Coach Machado. So
yeah,
I
was going to say, we're looking forward to getting that information when we get off the air here as well. 6:45, the stream begins here on RFM, 7 o'clock to tip-off. The extended countdown to tip-off is available on the K-Zone, AM 1280, 105.3 FM, and WPKZstream.com coming up tomorrow night. Kate, one opportunity here to talk about this one. What jumps out? This is always a great battle, Leominster and Shrewsbury here. We got it for you again here tomorrow night. And right now what we know, Leominster has had their pause. It was back closer to the holiday. They came back with a victory last week. Now here's Shrewsbury going through some of it. They actually were able to play through a lot of the break, although they did have a pause late in that winter break frame. And now they seem to be struggling again with, of course, the increasing COVID numbers. They're going to come in tomorrow night with a whole lot of question marks, including on the coaching staff.
Yeah, we might see we might see some interesting faces tomorrow, so that ought to be interesting. But no matter how you slice it and dice it, you have a situation in which these teams are hungry. They're coming out here wanting to play basketball. I mean, obviously, Leominster, as you said, had just recently been on a pause. They had a great game against Algonquin, and so they're looking to continue to ride that wave of victories going into Shrewsbury. This is always a great battle, especially considering Shrewsbury usually has Leominster outsized, and so it's going to be a great battle. I think it usually is. These two teams play intense basketball when they see each other. So there will be no lack of intensity, and we'll have to see what the game plan is with Coach Machado and friends on the sideline. So we will see what personnel is available. We'll see who shows up.
And it's a win that you feel like both teams, they're going to play each other twice in the next month and a half.
They want it
feel
and
like
they need
have to have at this point in time, because both of them lost a lot of their games against major Eastern Mass opponents that they were counting on.
Quality losses.
For playoffs. Well, no.
Quality
Well, they're not quality losses in this case. These are COVID losses. These are in games not played.
Quality
they're just
losses.
off the schedule. So if they come off the schedule, there's no quality loss. You don't get any points for a quality loss that never played. And so that is certainly something that they need, these wins in these Central Mass games against top
Well, that
flight
becomes
schools.
interesting because now you're talking about this algorithm being friendly to an 18-game schedule, but if you lose 2 from those tournaments, now all of a sudden the math is looking a little bit suspect.
And they will be no contests if they are not played.
Still quality losses.
Is our understanding.
That's your favorite.
On this one at that point. Oh, you know it. This one's live, Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for your live action here on RFM. That's where you've been tuned in all night long. It's where you come back to tomorrow night for Leominster and Shrewsbury boys basketball. Game available on demand. You want to enjoy this one once again, you head out to YouTube. It's youtube.com, search Rivalry Family Media, or follow that tiny URL, tinyurl.com/Media Rivalry. Like, follow, and subscribe today to that action. Game available on demand on same-day delay as well, following our live coverage. Updates, schedule changes, the latest broadcast information. It's at Media Rivalry on Twitter for all of those updates. And again, as I said, like, follow, and subscribe to all of this. Keeps you up to date, and anytime we go live and or we post on-demand content, you get the notification to your smart-enabled device. And all of that coming up in the days and weeks and months ahead. We're looking forward to a whole lot of basketball to come, and we're right back with you again here tomorrow night. Algonquin a winner on the girls' side tonight, 46-41. Algonquin tops Leominster. It was delayed by a couple of days, but it got on the floor again tonight, and Algonquin hung into this one, and a second-half surge from Jada Carter-Frem, the senior, leads to an Algonquin victory. Algonquin 46, Leominster 41 here on RFM tonight. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much for joining us, and until tomorrow night, so long, everybody.